Okay, the watch list for Friday. MELA, over 12.5 million shares on Wednesday, closed below its open and did the same, but it's getting support above 3. So I want to watch this one for a potential bounce on Friday. That's MELA. AGEN. I was just broadcasting live as we were finding charts, and I asked people to stop in and show me some charts that are interesting. And one of them showed me AGEN. Now, I like the fact that 2 days in a row here you had over 25 million shares, and then some lower highs. Now you're getting higher lows. So it's definitely interesting. Up over 560, which was it's over 565, which was today's high. Let me get a resistance line drawn here. As I said in the little seminar we were doing there, actually it was just kind of a group stock hunt. My problem with it is that it's up 3 days in a row already. But when you go to 60s, you did have some selling come in the middle of the day today. Actually, it might have been this morning. And if these sellers fail, it becomes more interesting. So even though it's up 3 days in a row, this one might get busy. You see only 1 million shares today, but it really didn't roll over, I think, like people thought it would. So let's watch AGEN. It's not my number one pick because of the fact that it's up 3 days in a row into resistance, but you never know. It's worth having on watch. SUNE, a couple guys pointed this one out too. This one is interesting on the chart, more for a swing to me than a day trade, though. I look for stuff because I'm only going to trade what I can find tomorrow that could make a nice move, and then move on. I'll be cash at night. And again, this one up 2 days in a row already, but up over 24, you might overtake these highs from back in June and maybe break out. So it doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. ARTX. This one, nice support below, and looks like it's kind of building for a possible upside break. A little thinner stock, but I want to watch that one. W. This one, over 60% of the float is short, and it's a fairly small float. So this one, after the gap up 2 red days, it never did go lower than that, and now it's starting to build back up. So over 30 on some volume tomorrow. Again, you have another scenario where it's up 2 days in a row, but you have the not the pre-market high, but you have the high of the gap day was 30.50. So over that, there's a catalyst. And then 31, I think, was the actual high in the pre-market the day it gapped up, about 6-7 days ago, something like that. So I like this over 30. You've got a catalyst of over 30.50 and then over 31. So this one might just rip. It definitely, with those stats, a low float and it's over 60% short, it's definitely worth watching. PVA is just in a range, and I've drawn that out, but it did have nice volume nearing the high of that range. So I want to watch that one. It's not my favorite, but I want to watch it. Herbalife, one of the guests in the after-hours stock stalking section, chart stalking section, pointed out Herbalife, which I hadn't seen in after hours, was all the way up. It hit 38. Looks like it closed out at 36.25. So it is up to about right here in after hours and went even over this. These are 60-minute candles here. So I definitely want to watch that for a potential gap play tomorrow. All right, that's HLF. AVEO, as I said, is interesting even though it looks so weird. You've got like 6 days in a row where it closed below its open. So you've got all these red candles, but you did have a 20 million share day. So the news was definitely interesting to somebody. And now, if you switch to 15-minute candles, ever since it had that huge volume day, the very next day didn't break its early high, or the next day, or the next day, or the next day. So you got 4 days in a row now where it didn't break its early high, but it seems to have stopped selling off. It hit the 8-day. So I want to watch this one for a bounce. Even though you've got those red candles and it looks kind of weird, this has the potential to maybe have a decent move upwards after that chart action. So that's AVEO. And then Loco, man, this used to be a fun trader, and then it's just got decimated all the way down to 20. I do think 20, was the low in this thing. I don't think it's going back down there. Then you had a bounce, and you could argue this kind of flagging. Well, then after hours, it went all the way to 26.50, even a little higher than that, and settled in around 26. So it's going to gap up to somewhere around here in the morning, and that's a great candidate for a gap play because Loco can really move when it moves. So that's LOCO. And then in my notes, although this is not a handsome chart at the moment because of this red day today, CAPN is a lower volume stock, but it makes some really neat moves. And so it didn't do so today, and I really don't think it's going to give a trade tomorrow. But I want to watch this for the next week or so going forward, because it's given some really nice moves. So have this one on a chart, but maybe not. Probably shouldn't have had it on the list tonight, but keep an eye on it anyway. I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully we'll find some nice gappers tomorrow as well, and or some of these stocks will give a nice setup. All right, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.